What was I going to say? Oh, that's what I was going to say. Let's go back to Doug, the drawing.
Yeah, so you already told me that he said something about my face.
Yeah, this is
because
funny.
I still never got to see my photo. Because remember, you were like, "What one do you want?" I'm like, "I don't fucking care. Just do it."
He actually traced your face, but he put it in there because he traced it. It looked too realistic compared to the rest of the photo, and he got really frustrated about that.
Yeah.
But then he just said he's getting like all the photos that I took of you, like the different angles and like that. He said, "Oh yeah, I really like these photos of Doug. Like I'm going to use these for like templates for characters because he's got a really nice sloped back of the head."
Hello, people that have turned ones and zeros into the sweet tunes of our voice. This is the Trusty Crowbar podcast.
What the hell?
Episode 107. I'm Lucas Whittingslow.
I'm Reese Whittingslow.
And I'm Douglas Bright.
This is why we don't have listeners. The ones and zeros into what?
Into the sweet tunes of our voice.
This is what happens when you don't have your bloody laptop in front of you.
You come up with some...
You guys
how
laptop.
How much of this week did you think of that line?
Just then, literally 5 seconds, I was like, I've got a really good one for this one. Went with it, and lo and behold...
I don't even know what you said. Was there a joke in there?
It's talking about binary.
Jesus.
Talking to our voices. Our voices are... horrible.
I love it. You're just like, nah, I'm not down with this at all.
You didn't understand the ones and zeros? No?
I didn't know where it was going. He starts talking and I stop listening.
You went pretty quick as well too, so none of us actually understood jack shit.
Yeah.
Did you explain what we are, who we are, what we're doing?
You literally didn't listen to anything at all. No. Okay. Let's talk about video games.
We are a video game podcast.
That's right.
Yes. Video games.
What have you guys played?
I've played things.
Doug's getting in on the bat where you usually like, I'll play it, and Doug's, I'll just quiet.
Now, I still...
Can't see the...
I was fucking drinking. It's not like I could talk.
All right, okay, Doug, go.
I do want help. Ori
and the Blind Forest.
That's what I've been playing. And I've played 62%.
62%?
Yeah.
And I just saw that you were getting new game mechanics.
Yeah, yep. So still, because you unlock...
For a platform game, where does it tell you the percentage? In the game itself? Or
menu.
In the menu?
Yeah, every time you load.
Why do you think a game like that would be necessary to have a percentage?
I don't know, I like that.
I've always liked games.
I do like when games do have percentage as well, but...
I don't know if...
A platformer?
I think
there's a lot of unlocks in that game.
I was going to say,
I guess, yeah.
Can you redo levels?
No.
Yeah, kind of.
Well...
how much have you played?
I haven't played any of it.
Like I said, you guys need to work on your communication.
I was talking to a friend at work.
Oh, you mean can you just go to level 7 and play?
Yeah.
No, but you can re-explore areas you've been to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's one big map that sort of slowly unlocks and you have to unlock new areas. Certain areas you can't get to because you don't have powers or whatever. Like you don't have ability, that's the word I need, which unlocks. So there's a point system, that sort of little bar down the bottom that you gather ability points. And then like to start with, there's sort of 3 different trees that like different arcs of abilities that do different things. Like one's attacks, one's to do with life points, and one is to do with jumps.
Is it just a very linear growth with that, or does it branch?
Like I put more stuff into attacks.
Okay.
To begin with, so I don't know. You could put it whatever way, but then
but I mean, like eventually by the end of the game, you've got them all filled, or is it like a branching tree line?
No, branching, just 3. Well, there's 3 to start, and then you just go along.
Yep.
But also, certain upgrades you can't do until you've actually. There's just unlocks that happen with the progression of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to new trees or forests or whatever, and then there's just a certain you now have double jump and stuff like that. So I was definitely frustrated, and one odd thing that I was like, sometimes there's crumbs on the table. Sometimes I wasn't sure if I was sucking at the platforming mechanic or if I was trying to do an area that I shouldn't have been doing.
So it wasn't really holding your hand too much. It was just like, hey, you could go here, but unless you can get up to this.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm like, am I just getting, like, there's I've just unlocked wall running. So there's been like a wall jump mechanic, which is really frustrating. And then I just seen people were talking about some scene. They're like, oh, have you played, like on a podcast and a few reviews and things I'd seen, they were talking about one particular thing. And I was like, wonder what they're talking about. They're like the geisha tree or something. And then I realised, like last night, Kristen laughed because I was trying to do one scene, which is like a jumping, like just a really specific thing that's essentially, there's something you just keep doing because there's like water that's coming up underneath you.
Oh, okay, yep.
And probably like 20 minutes to do that, and I don't know how many retries. And then I was just like, F yeah, Kristen just like laughed her head off. She's like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah. She'd been watching me fail.
Does she know what to do?
Oh, and she can see that it's just a platformer.
Yeah.
It was like...
But how did you get past it?
I was just dying.
So you just sucked at it in general.
Yeah, but then I thought, okay, this was the other thing I wondered as well. Apart from sometimes one area I did do, and then I shouldn't have tried to do it. Because then I got to the thing and they're like, yeah, you need to get this. And I'm like, well, I don't think I can get to those areas yet. But, yeah, this particular bit was like, you had to do it. Like, that was like a main storyline.
There's no going back,
yeah.
But you could clearly see there was a clear progression
of
I knew what to do to pass
this one, this was different. This was like, I just had to do it, and I just kept failing. And but then I thought, geez, I wonder if I had... And then I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they talked about this particular scene, and they're like, yeah, I died like 50 times. I'm like, thank goodness. I'm like,
not just me.
I was like, am I just sucking at this jumping part?
Yeah.
But no, that must have just been hard. I need to double check. It keeps your total death count.
Oh, really?
And God, it must be high. The other really interesting thing...
So you suck at the rest of the game as well?
Yeah, I die all the time. But sometimes I like take damage and then kill myself because I got annoyed because I took damage from a crappy thing.
I'd like to... Does Hotline Miami keep your death count? No. That would be a nice progression one. So like,
insane.
just be like, hey, you played through... Or imagine... Sorry, I'm going off on a different tangent here with this one. Imagine if Hotline Miami used the mechanic that like Super Meat Boy did, and like you went through the level you saw...
So remember, if Doug did that, the game would have crashed because there would have been too many sounds playing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first Hotline Miami, number two I'm talking about. Imagine like seeing like all the little people go out at the same time just killing...
Oh, that would be intense because I redone some of those areas so many times.
Yeah.
A few particular game mechanics I loved out of Ori. What are we going with? Ori. Is that...
What are we going with?
So all your different like little orbs along the bottom of the screen. So one orbs that you get are just your life, essentially. Yep. And then you find bigger orbs that then give you more life points as you go through. So that's one of the unlocks or things that you find.
That's a pretty straightforward platformer mechanic.
Yeah, it really is. When you kill an enemy, they give out little orbs that seem to partially recharge your life and also points towards your ability point, which is then obviously go toward your unlocks as well. And then the other one are they're like orangey, goldy orbs. Then there's blue ones, and they do a couple of things. So you can use those for like sort of super attacks. They're like a sort of spirit bomb thing, but also you can create your save points. So you can create save points anywhere as long as you've got enough of these. Whatever.
Does it use your orbs each time you save?
Yeah.
So you can only...
Can you save other than that as well, Bart?
Oh, but not many. Like there is particular save points, and that recharges all your abilities, like or all your life points and these other orbs.
Where do you go back to when you die?
Your save point.
Okay, so you
create your save point, and you cannot. But
I'd be fearful of thinking, am I saving at the right point?
And those little orbs, so you only start with 3. I think I'm up to about 8 or 9 now of these save points. So they are for bigger attack as well. And there's a few things that you can only destroy by using this bigger attack. I don't really use the bigger attack that often. I just use like standard attack. But also there's gates that can only be unlocked with X amount of orbs. So you make it to like a bottom of like an area sort of thing, and you might have died a few times or like used your save points or whatever, and you ended up with not a lot of these
so
blue
you
ones,
can't
and then you can't open a damn spot, and then I like have to go back to somewhere where I can recharge.
Are there only a finite amount of orbs, or
no? That's
what
did you say?
A finite amount of orbs.
Limit, like I don't know what he's
finite.
Saying.
Infinite.
Not infinite.
Finite.
No, he's saying not infinite.
Not infinite.
Oh, I
finite.
didn't even know that word existed.
science.
I really wish I knew what the little blue orbs were called.
So
the blue ones seem to recharge, but not as quickly as your life points.
Okay.
So you got life points, which also...
but so you just unlock the ability to be able to hold
have more. Yeah.
But you can go back to like a point where you can like suck in orbs.
Yeah, where it fills it up. So at the moment, it's way more
There's no fast travel to get back to where you were.
Well, you just die and go back to your... No. You just die and go back to your last
right.
save. But when you were like, Doug, you suck when I wasn't paying that much attention when I was like getting through areas. So normally you like might pass a particularly difficult platform area and then you save with one of your little orb things. But then, so it's sort of you create when you create the save point. And that's also, you can resave at a save point that you've made, which is something I've unlocked, so you couldn't do that at the start.
Also, so you plonk something down.
Yeah, it's a little physical
and then you
thing.
can walk
go
back
back
there.
to that.
Yeah.
And that's also how you access your ability tree to do your upgrades. Yeah, so it's
that's a very different. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
mechanic
I haven't
much
either,
at all.
but I'm not huge on. It's funny, I've been playing it, and the one thing that is pretty obvious, like visually spectacular game.
Yeah, very
soundtrack
pretty.
is amazing, which is the big stuff. I've
thought
just
it was-
launched straight into mechanics.
The animations are freaking smooth.
yeah, really silky smooth.
Animations are like Disney smooth.
I thought it was an Xbox One exclusive, but you got it on the PC. And
yeah.
so it's a Windows
Because it's-
exclusive.
Yeah, now this is an interesting thing I was thinking about because this has been picked up. It's actually a Microsoft Studio game, which the funny thing as well, it's still got the Microsoft Studio logo, but there was some other business going on. Really reminded me of Age of Empires, like just.
Oh yeah,
but it actually seems
that's
really.
exactly what I think. Anytime I see the Microsoft Studio logo,
But it seems like fairly low quality. The starting little Microsoft Studio thing compared to like your Nvidia ones and all the rest of the crazy, nice and smooth. It doesn't seem that good. But so this one was, I was saying to Reese, has been picked up as like, well, Microsoft Studio obviously. So I guess it was an independent game company, first game that those guys have done together.
From what my understanding is Microsoft saw the game, liked what they want, and funded the rest of the development to make it exclusive. But I could be wrong, so I'm going to look that up.
Now,
Are you looking that up?
Nope.
No, I'll look
They've
that up.
done that a few times. Now, the thing I thought because of that, and God, this would suck, but I wonder if they'll try. You know how there's the Windows 8 App Store? It would have been interesting if they're like, this game's only available with Windows 8.
That wouldn't do Val. That wouldn't do very well. Nor would it do well for the developers. Because how many people just have a Windows 8 app store?
Everyone that has Windows 8, but they have a fair saturation. But I only mean, like, if Microsoft were funding it and we're just like, yep, so this is now Windows 8, and especially when there's going to be Xbox for Windows 10. So, like, I wonder if that will happen at some stage, like, especially for an indie title. Imagine if you're like, you can be Valve and everyone can play your game. I half burped.
That sounded very upsetting.
Everyone can play it on that and you just roll the dice, or we'll just pay you this much and it's then an Xbox One exclusive and an Xbox Live or whatever it's called for Windows 10. I was thinking about this. I just feel that could happen at some stage. That there'll be a really cool, unique title that I'm going to find myself buying through the Windows Store.
Yeah.
I bet, like, I don't know.
You have to take a screenshot of that.
What's that? If that
Find
happens.
something
Welcome to the
Windows
Trusty
Store.
Crowbar on your Windows phone. Exclusive, no. So, Moon Studios was the development team behind it. They're a worldwide collaboration of designers and programmers who've been working in the game industry for the past 4
This
years.
doesn't sound like Wikipedia at all.
Microsoft acquiring the game
they actually-
after a year of development.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They actually, all over the world and worked, like, in the cloud. Yeah, it's really
They don't
cool.
have one place where the studio is. It's literally just people's homes
Everyone works
or
from
a
home.
workplace or something
And
like
so
that.
none of those members would be from Australia because our internet is horrible.
No,
There
there
is.
is. There's an Australian person.
It said
Yep.
Australia.
Level
when
design.
Suppose
I-
he got his own like internet satellites and whatnot
Level
attached to
designer.
his house.
I believe. I might be wrong. Or artist.
Well, here's a link. It says from Austria to Australia. I'm going to click the Australia thing and
sure
see
that'll
where
just-
it takes me. Takes me to the Australian Wikipedia page. Doesn't take me to any.
We all
information.
made it.
it had to be the
Everyone in
collaboration of
Australia.
everyone's internet. Nobody's quite sure what they're doing on the internet. They just hit buttons and stuff.
Everyone had 56k modem together. But I guess haven't finished the game
Sounds
yet.
more like a register malfunction. Fucking modem.
Well, I guess it is nowadays. That's the friggin' speed 56k.
Yeah, true.
I hate when you go to do FPOS somewhere and you hear the modem sound.
What?
Like it
That's
does-
the fax sound, actually, I believe.
Oh, you feel?
Because the fax sound sounds very similar to a modem sound.
Yeah, what do you mean that...
Sometimes you're somewhere where you like.
Oh, and you hear it just in the background.
No, you like a remote access site. I've definitely done like last 12 months would have been somewhere where you swipe it and it takes ages, and they seem.
Oh,
to be
you mean the actual FPOS machine was
Yeah.
dialing in every time?
Yeah.
Doug, where do you buy things? In the middle of friggin' nowhere?
It sounds like this FPOS machine just has a built-on speaker just for this one purpose, to fucking annoy one person that hates a modem
It
sound.
doesn't annoy me. It's just like sometimes it's a while you swipe, and then there's like a good amount of time goes past.
Maybe
before I
they're
watch
just trying to keep you around for like a bit of conversation to see.
She's just a good
see where-
person, Doug.
and they've
There's someone in the
literally-
background.
They've
just
got
going,
this button they push under the
yeah.
table, which plays the sound through
No.
a speaker
And a
because
money-
they know
no,
you.
Just the money dispenser machine.
Oh, the ATM.
ATM.
machine. The ATM.
A money dispenser machine.
Automatic money dispenser machine.
You know what?
Automatic
We're
teller
totally
machine.
off topic. I'm just going to finish quickly. Not finished the game yet. Been enjoying it. And I don't know, half a little grindy because I never played that many platformers really as a kid. But yeah, been enjoying it. Kind of want to see where the game goes. Interesting the way there's no voice acting in the game either. So it's all text based.
The quality of these platformers that are like out now.
This
compared
was like
to-
3 or 4 years development, this game.
Yeah.
They look amazing, but games like that just don't draw me in.
And not at all?
No.
Nah, see, I'm really keen to play this game.
You only love the idea of the game.
I
don't know
nearly-
if you're
no,
gonna
no,
finish
I
this.
nearly
You wouldn't
purchased
finish
it.
this game.
This is a game which I can sink a lot of hours into.
Yeah, like I'd heard
Like
someone say about
platform-
15 hours.
Really, for far out.
Yeah, I thought this would be like a 7 or 8
It's
hour
like
game.
someone saying, like someone told me Alien Isolation was like a 30 to 40 hour game. And like in my head, that should have been a 5 to 10 hour game.
Yep.
Like, how do you get... I'm sorry, we're off topic.
It's a
but
30,
just-
40 hour game because you are hiding for majority of the
You're
time.
just, like,
and
waiting.
not wanting to leave because you can't save it.
Yeah.
And then you finish the game 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't finished, but hopefully can finish that this week. I'll run through a few things I bought that can hopefully get some time into, and Reese will probably have more to talk about. City Skyline, I purchased that.
We've all got that now.
Yep.
It's excellent.
Now, haven't
Can you link... I'm sorry, do you guys know if we can multiplayer that game at all? Like, is there a SimCity type component to multiplayer? Because I know it was one of the things that people kicked up a fuss about with SimCity.
can
Is
you
like,
just co-op a city instead?
well, I'm just wondering that. I'm like,
I haven't looked at all. But
Quick Google search.
yeah,
City Skylines multiplayer.
I'll tell you what I've done and tell me if have you done any mod stuff yet?
Mod stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Really love the way mods are integrated. Can just do it through the menu, tick on or off mods, and it has Steam Shop.
Oh, wow.
Steam Workshop integration, which is awesome. I grabbed the GTA Los Santos city.
Oh, did
because
you?
I've been seeing it everywhere.
did you actually download it?
I then also threw on the first person mode, so you can just click on a person and it just goes into first person mode, or you can walk around in with WASD.
How
Keys?
is the textures when you're in first
pretty
person?
good. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was playing GTA and thinking how freaking amazing it looks, if you could have just played it just with probably the level of simulation that's happening, you would still enjoy this as a game because there'd be so much happening in the background. Like, it's actually looks quite good in close. I also installed a plane version. I don't know
where
if
you can fly over
you can fly,
in the plane.
no, fly as a plane.
Yeah.
Full just fly with the mouse, and there's no collision or anything at the moment. But you can just like hit whatever the button was, and you just jump straight into a plane and can fly around.
Wow.
And then I realised that I haven't played GTA like I've been playing recently, but not for a long enough period to know the map that well. But it's pretty impressive. I half started a city for 10 minutes following a YouTube. Did you follow any YouTube stuff, or you just winged it?
I just winged it.
I winged it as well.
Did well.
I
Because
didn't.
I was hearing a fair bit of stuff of people like, yeah, played for a bit, realised they'd ruined their city. They got to a point where they just progressed and worked it out. But I was like, I'm just going to follow a tutorial on YouTube because that seemed easier. And then I was sort of I haven't really played too much yet. But that's definitely There are so many mods, it's insane. Absolutely insane.
Talking about like YouTube tutorials, I started watching a tutorial to play Crusader Kings 2, which is a game like Civilization, but instead of you being a country, you're just like a lord of land, and you've got the way to like win the game is to be friends with people and like take over land and stuff and win war victories and stuff, and like marrying. It's basically a game about marrying people. So I started watching a tutorial and I got like 4 episodes in, and each episode is like 25 minutes. So I watched like an hour and a half of it, and Doug's ran off. So
his dogs are getting grumpy.
Yeah, watched like an hour and a half of it, and then went, all right, okay, so it keeps going to the next episode, I'm like, I'll see how many episodes there are. I clicked on like the entire playlist. There's like 30 of like just the tutorial of how to play the game. And the dude's like right at the start, he's like, I don't really know where to start. I'll start right here. And then he gets to like episode 4 and he's like, I should have told you about this a couple of episodes back, mate. I'll just tell you about it now.
Horrible tutorial.
And like, it keeps me interested. Yeah. But it's a game which I'm like, I really want to try it out.
Have you been playing this recently?
I haven't got into the game quite yet because I'm still trying to learn it. But it's a game which I'd like for myself to know how to play the game, but then all of us to sit around and just make the decisions. Hey, do you reckon we should marry that person or send them off to go die?
Yeah, that would be pretty fun to be. So I half listened because I walked away. So you're essentially like the lords.
Yeah. So you start off with a county, and then you've got to get duchies, and then you get countries, and then you try and take over other countries. But instead of like taking over the world, you literally just stay in your country and you just marry to be the king of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It does sound really cool.
It's like a more intimate civilization.
Other thing I purchased this week, I'm just going to wait. I don't want to restart another thing because I'm playing Ori.
You've got a lot of games this week, like Ori and the Blind Forest and City Skyline. They're 2 big games.
I grabbed the full 5-episode purchase of Life is Strange because episode 2 just launched and everyone's saying it's awesome.
Yeah? Better than the first one?
I don't know. People are just saying it's really good.
Have you finished the second episode?
No, I've just bought, like, that's going to be like smash out Ori and then going to do...
Yeah. So
have you played? Oh, you haven't played yet? No. That's what I was hoping you had.
Because instead, just before that came out, was Game of Thrones episode 3.
You haven't played any of Tales of the Borderland? Is that what it's called? Does that interest you?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Borderlands, but it is interesting me now because everyone is raving about it.
Yeah.
And for the fact that everyone's like, we want more. Like,
it could be they're raving on about it because it has such a link to Borderlands and people really like Borderlands.
Apparently it gives away spoilers to Borderlands or something as well. Yeah.
See, and that's the thing, like, I don't know the story of Borderlands and never quite got into it, but, like, is Tales of the Borderlands going to be like, hey, these are characters which you should know? Like, you know how when we play the Game of Thrones game?
Well, I know Claptrap.
Claptrap, yeah.
Claptrap.
There's plenty of other. I know Claptrap. Yeah, no, you don't.
I know Clingy. Cling John.
I know that robot on wheels.
Wheel.
Yeah. But like, you know how we play like the Game of Thrones game, and there's like characters from the TV show where we're like, oh,
yeah.
When we'll be playing Tales of Borderlands, we'll be like, what? Should we know that person?
Yeah, but then Walking Dead for the most part is just.
Come on, as soon as like Glenn popped up in the Walking Dead game, I was like, what?
Yeah, but you know that's the only character that's been in that from the show.
But still, what?
See, for me, being maybe odd with these sort of tie-in stuff, I'd be happy if I wouldn't have to see any character from the show in Walking Dead at all.
Sorry, there was others. Who? Herschel.
Yeah, but Herschel wasn't like Herschel that we think Herschel is.
Yeah.
So I got a bit upset, and he was a jerk, and normal Herschel's really nice from the TV show, so that was different.
So have you been playing any more cities, Skylar?
I actually started in a new city because I want to make one that's a bit more appealing.
Yeah, so you've done I understand the base mechanics of the game, and now I want to play.
I get up to a point where my energy consumption starts, like, I need to just keep building, like, tons of power plants.
What I want to do is I want to know... I haven't really mucked around with it, but the fact that someone made Los Santos, does that mean that there's a creator mode? Is that correct in this game?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, there's heaps of modes just within the game menu.
Yeah, see, I want to try to create... Like, if there is a creator mode, do that. But I want to do our city.
Oh yeah.
And see...
The city of Albury.
Or Wodonga.
Albury.
I want to do that and see how that city operates and if it's actually realistic. because it might not be.
There's been, I didn't read the actual interview, but there's been like guys that like to do with traffic control in real life and so all the simulation. Apparently, the simulations within it are quite good. Like he was applying real city planning, town planning, like methodology to it, and it actually within the simulation it worked quite well. Like apparently that, because obviously those guys have done all the other transport.
They did Cities XL and stuff, and Cities in Motion.
So I read a post on Reddit, I think this morning, that was a guy had built his city and then he done one of the dam things. Have you done a dam yet?
No.
Like made a dam for power? Now, the first time you do it, you normally fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And what he did was he did that and he made his whole city flood. So everyone left, got destroyed, city was ruined.
Really?
But then when he fixed the dam up, everyone just moved back in happily and the city grew bigger and better and quicker.
So it wasn't like a really negative turn of events. It was just
it was just like, we cleaned up the city.
Talking about like developing like a city and testing it out and stuff, there was a funny picture which I saw comparing two of our Australian cities, and it had on the left like the heart of Melbourne, and it had like Melbourne, and it's like, you know how Melbourne is, it's just like blocks and stuff.
Get to where you want to go or something.
Yeah, because we love for you to know where to go. And then it has a picture of Sydney with all the freaking squiggly roads. Like, Sydney, because fuck you.
Yeah. It's true. Sydney is
seriously
mental.
It's messed up.
But that's a good thing.
Because it wasn't, Melbourne was a design city. Sydney was just slapped together as it grew. So
I prefer that. Melbourne, there's too many nutbags that know where to get around. Sydney, the nutbags gave up. They just sit down and they're like, fuck it, I don't know where to go.
They just go around loops.
Yeah.
Did you know Melbourne used to be called Batmania? The guy that founded Melbourne was John Batman or someone like that.
Really?
His surname was Batman. That's why in Melbourne there's tons of Batman streets, like Batman Street, Batman Avenue, Batman Lane.
I didn't know there was any of that. Where are these?
All over Melbourne.
Can you not make up facts or read things on Wikipedia?
Not making up facts at all. Like, read it on the internet.
He'll edit Wikipedia now. Like, Melbourne is Bat City.
Look,
Gotham.
last edit.
No. We'll get the the link down the bottom and stuff, like where you link up, you put the little one next to like Melbourne originally called Batmania down the bottom one for Trusty Crowbar podcast.
Like
so
the asterisk.
The asterisk, yeah.
So there's been two games that I have been playing the majority of the time, which have been, I finished the third episode of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Has it improved?
Well, this episode was a bit slower. I didn't feel like there was as much epic shit that happened into it.
In this episode.
It was dragon in this episode.
Oh, it was dragon its ass.
It was Daenerys, and we didn't see her boobies.
Okay.
So that's disappointing.
Oh.
Wait, has there... Because the show is very sexualized and... What is it? Naked. Lots of naked.
Sexualized and naked.
Nudity.
The game.
No. Oh, no, I don't think so.
The game doesn't really have much.
No, any. I don't think it's got any boobies in it, because why would anyone want to see
Reese prefers the
boobies? I love it.
Lots of dick everywhere.
Yeah. All over the place.
Especially the hand.
I think it was because more of the fact that I tried to play very careful and calm these episodes, because shit could go down and could ruin my family, and like one of the characters became a crow, and even if they're your brother and they hate you, you got to respect them, and you got to... And spoiler alert if you just want to skip this a little bit.
Thanks.
No, it's not really a spoiler. It's not like a big spoiler, but...
It's a spoiler alert.
You've become a crow, and also the guy that's killed your family has become a crow as well.
Ooh. So you got to team up and work together.
Not really. He doesn't end very well. But I tried to be very careful and calm and not get it agitated with him and be like, we need to like learn to work together. But he's just a complete prick, so he got what was coming to him. Let's just say that. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Did you smash his face with the rock like Walking Dead?
No, he did not do that. You had swords in the medieval times.
Yeah, I think they had swords in current times too.
And rocks.
Yep.
A rock sword.
So, but yeah, I did enjoy it, and it is... You got to play one of the older brother a lot more in this episode, which was good.
How many different characters have you played as?
Played as?
Yeah.
Well, right now I think I'm playing as 3, I believe. 1, 2.
Oh, yeah.
Does
that get confusing?
The first one... Is the show confusing? Fuck yeah, it is.
I was going to be like, yeah.
But because they don't They don't jump as much, but they still do jump a fair bit in the actual game. But it's not that confusing because you're making decisions, so you're going to remember them pretty well. Like, I shouldn't have said that. Most of the time, that's what I say.
Oh, okay. That was the other character I was playing
damn
as.
it.
Do you change, like, outfit every time you change character?
Yeah. What? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Larph it up, mate.
Yeah. What? Is that a LARP?
Live action roleplay.
It's a floppy LARP.
I thought of on
Larph. Do you know what Larph stands for?
I don't fucking know.
I just live action roleplay.
Lucas,
I prefer LARP. Like a big global giggle.
That was gross.
And the other game, sorry. Oh, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I thought of the word LARP the other day, just in my kitchen. Don't even know what.
I'm just imagining you just doing this shit.
LARP!
No, I thought to myself,
LARP!
No, that it was a terrible phrase. Yeah. And I was just like, geez, I hate that. Yeah. And then you brought it up.
I'd never be a LARPer because of that word LARP.
I was actually thinking about the whole process of LARPing, and I was like, yeah, not for me.
Sounds so friggin' awesome.
Not my thing.
Do you know what LARPing is?
Yeah, when they dress up, lightning bolt, bolt.
Yeah.
Like that video.
That's so cool.
Such a good old video. You remember watching that?
Back in high school.
Shield, reflect, lightning bolt.
Lost my shit.
Good, you wouldn't have seen that.
Are you going to elaborate so everyone had
There was just a bunch of people playing,
doing
LARPing.
Way back
one guy was just yelling out lightning bolt, throwing like little sparkly things at some dude.
So it'd be like 320 by 240.
Yeah, it was
56k time, mate.
Yeah.
So what else did you play?
So the other game that I have played for a majority of the time has been Dying Light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so really,
someone got you a copy?
Yeah. Really enjoy this game.
And then you get better out of shape. So you get the first copy, and then you're upset because, catch up. Well, you got a head start, don't you, boy?
Yeah, We're going to get the first copy next time and then let you...
That's not going to happen. Because I'm the one that actually plays games.
Let's talk about the start of these guys. Because I've played the start as well.
Yep.
And I'm bored shitless.
What?
Seriously, the tutorial start of this game, I'm playing through, I'm like, this is every other freaking shooter. And it's just boring as batshit. Okay, in my opinion now...
It's a free runner.
Exactly. But there should be... 2 different decisions made right at the start. Like 2 doors, okay? Have you played a lot of first-person shooters or have you not played a lot of first-person shooters? If you have, you go through the door and do a super fast tutorial of like how the buttons work and everything.
Are you upset about anything today?
I'm upset about this. 2 hours I've been playing the game for and I'm still in this friggin' tutorial.
How? Well, it doesn't go for that long.
I have to go up to like level 13 and then down to like level 9 and then run around and punch someone.
It's not the tutorial. That's the fucking opening and the story of the game.
It's basically a tutorial because you go down and you find someone and you learn one tiny little mechanic of like, this is a health pack. Oh, great. You heal things. No shit. All right? Most frustrating part was, hey, go up to the roof. I got something to show you. I go up there and he's walking out. What's the guy's name? The freaking glasses and stuff?
Little man.
Edward, all right? Edward's up there. I walk out there and you go, Edward, where are you? Edward, okay? He walks, he's like, I'm over here. From another building, a crane goes across and he goes, get on and come over. What the fuck? Are you serious?
Man.
Yeah, it's...
Get up and run across, then he jumps off the building.
It's a concept. That's showing you the free running.
Yeah, it's just... I was just like, seriously, stupid. One other... there's 2 things I'm shitting about. One other part of this game...
This sounds like Doug telling me about a game.
One other part of this game...
Watching it externally, I'm like, so this is how it is?
You're supposed to be some covert operation guy.
I guess, yeah. You're some undercover.
You go down,
fella.
you crash, they help you and stuff like this. You get up there and he's like, the Edward guy, he's like, yeah, I'm the boss and stuff. And he's like...
His name's not Edward.
Well, you didn't tell me what his name was.
Little fella.
Little fella's like, yeah, I'm the boss. He's not really the boss.
No.
He's like, hey, like, when you fell, we found your walkie-talkie. And he says to you, which is heaps better than the ones that we have... And you're like, oh, can I have that back? He's like, yeah, but this will save lives. Yeah, can I have that back? Okay. Seriously? These people are living in a zombie apocalypse. There's no way he'd give that walkie-talkie back.
Yeah, but he knows that you got potential, and then you did.
You don't have potential. You freaking fell and had to get saved. What potential do they see in you?
Your parachute got caught on a building.
I think I went to the PlayStation
Did you skip
home.
it?
No. I think it was loading the thing, and I thought if I did the home button, it would pause it, but it did.
Do you ever get that time when you haven't clicked the button for a while, and you get that anxiety that you need to press a button, and it skips? That's the hardest part of a game.
I get the anxiety of if you hit the options button, which should be pause, and it skips. There should always be a pause on a cutscene. Always. Anyway, let's get into Dying Light. It's actually pretty fun.
So, the positives of this game. One, it's got better voice acting than Dead Island. Yeah. It's made by the Dead Island people, correct? Yeah. Is it Deep Silver?
Yeah. And it feels like Far Cry more than what Dead Island
Well, that's what I said at the moment. It's like Far Cry with zombies. But the free running, to me, personally, shits on Mirror's Edge. I hated Mirror's Edge when I played it, and I couldn't understand it. But I enjoy this a lot more. The zombies are actually pretty powerful. So even a standard zombie, when you're attacking them, if you get caught in a zombie horde, you can't just boot them away or whatever. You can't kick them, but you got to get the fuck out of there. You got to get out of there because they will get you. And that's
compared
the
to
thing.
Dead Island, it wasn't
where you could just go around and just do whatever you want, slash them, kill them. They die pretty quick. When it comes nighttime, it does completely change the game. Have you got nighttime yet, Lucas? Have you played nighttime yet?
They made Dead Island, and then Riptide, and then Dying Light.
Yep.
Who's making Dead Island 2, though?
Yeah, another company. Yeah. So the nighttime, in the dark, all the zombies are a bit more overpowered. You actually have your abilities. When you jump on things, you get extra points and whatnot to level up. Everything doubles. Because it's so much harder at night time.
Can you skip night then?
You can skip night, you just got to sleep in a bed. Yeah. But when you go to night time...
Minecraft.
Yeah.
And there's zombies at night time.
Sorry to jump in a bus. That's something up right now. The developer who's making Dead Island 2 made Spec Ops The Line.
Oh, okay. So it might have a cool story to it. Except, I probably should talk about that game. And when... there's also mutated creatures, zombies, but more powerful, that hunt you. So as they said in the trailers and whatnot, you become the hunted instead of the hunter at night time. So at night time, you got the torch. It's hard. Everything's harder to do. Zombies are tougher. But then
is there any jump scares at all? Is it
no
anything great?
Not that I've come across. Yeah. So, but the actual story's cool. To me, it's interesting. But the gameplay is so much fun, and when everyone can actually join in and play it, it's going to be friggin' awesome. So it's 4-player co-op.
Is it co-op?
Is that from
the story?
The actual main story? I can jump in and we can continue.
You could jump into my game right now.
After I finish the 2.5 hour tutorial.
No, I don't think you have to do that. I think you can literally jump into my game now.
Oh, awesome. Well, do you...
Oh, actually, I'm not too sure, to be honest.
But then do you continue the story and I continue the story with you? Or
I think you'd be playing my story just like on Far Cry. So Far Cry 4, when you jumped in, you played whoever's hosting the server's story. Okay. So you can play a story, or you just run around and be dicks and be stupid and do funny shit.
Yeah.
Which is...
Because I enjoyed... When I played Dead Island, it was great fun playing it with a friend and just playing the story with them.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then we...
that's the thing, I'm not too sure
Never like when someone's in front. Honestly, if you are playing the story and that's the only time you play the story.
Frustration with Borderlands.
Oh.
Yeah. Run away.
Well, that was more actually, I hadn't played at all.
Yeah.
So we started a brand new game, but then I was trying to learn mechanics, and there's you hoard loot in that game. As in, bang, I'm having that. Yeah, wasn't getting the run to here, run to there.
Yeah.
When you had no...
Well, you'd lost that sense of discovery with the game. You just jumped in and were playing the game as, with people that had already known.
I wasn't getting to spend that little bit extra time that you would spend in the opening areas.
Figuring it out.
And learn how to do stuff. And instead, oh, great. But it's also a little bit harder because you're not getting the good weapons if you're not running to get...
We can't use them because you're not high enough level,
No, we're all on the same level. Oh. So it was a brand new game, but it was just think of how you're always a bit more crummy at the game the first time versus someone knows I'm running to that shed there because it has stuff in it.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm just looking around doing other stuff.
Instead, did it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really impressive.
Sorry, my only disappointment was with literally that, I wanted to just get in and start playing.
You just wanted to punch zombies.
Yeah.
Or kick them.
Yeah. And I was just stop like, I know the game needs to slowly introduce all these characters and stuff, but I was just like, I really just want to get out there and start killing zombies with Reese. But
yeah. I'll talk quickly about Spec Ops, because I bought Spec Ops a fair while ago and just finished it straight up in a day. Just had a massive binge session to it. The game has got a pretty interesting storyline, and everyone always raves about it, how it's got such crazy twists and all that stuff, but I think I played it wrong in the way that I played it. There's sections that you make decisions, and there's normally typical A and B decisions, which work with the endings of the stories or whatever endings you get, but there's also a C that you normally wouldn't do, and I did that in some sections.
What do you mean?
When they had cutscenes at the end of it, so the ending story that had him doing some weird shit that they're like, oh, that's a bit weird. So in it, there's a section where there's two people hanging, and you can either decide to shoot the guy that stole things to feed his family, or a guy that, let's say, he raped someone, or he shot someone, or whatever, he killed someone. They both committed crimes, and they both should be punished, but only one should be punished. I decided to, and they were like, if you don't do it, we'll shoot you. I decided to kill the people that were going to shoot me and let them both live.
And then live.
Yeah,
you could save them both.
Well, yeah, you could. Like, and then they dropped down, they ran away, and I was like, okay, cool. When the cutscene came, it played a cutscene where I shot one of them, and it looked like he was going mad. So the cutscene at the end of the game did not relate to like my story that I chose.
Oh, because often when it's do this or this, normally the third option where you think is an option, there's just no way to avoid dying. Yeah. Normally it's like, if you don't, you're going to die, and then it's like point blank, bang, you're dead. Like it's not normally, if you're quick enough, you can fight your way out of option
well, that's what I thought it was going to be when you shoot
so
him, but I still survived, and I continued on.
So you just wanted to see what would happen,
basically. Yeah.
Would you ask me about that with the... what game did you say where you're like, did you just wait and see what happened here, and then you said you died? What game was that where something you and I both played?
I'm not too sure.
Where you were like, you did the jerk thing. In Hotline Miami, where you like...
the girl
chick was
the gun.
like, stop coming near me.
Walk forward.
At the very end of a mission, and then she killed you.
Very frustrating. Without hearing you guys talk about that, I would have walked forward. Yeah. And that was a frustrating level.
Very frustrating.
The amount of times.
Yeah, that was a pretty long level.
It gets worse. Oh, you've probably gotten worse.
I've now got the guy who does the guns.
Don't spin.
No, that was fun. I walked in a room like, and then dead.
Then you're dead.
And I'm like,
but there was sections in it where, like, on Spec Ops, that I knew what was happening. And I was just like... And then it would make out like, oh my God, that's a big twist. You've done something horribly wrong. And I was just like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Like, good game, but I think it might have been hyped about the twists that are in it. Yeah. And I
can't believe
I played it wrong.
That you could do game breaking. Like,
well, I don't think it was in game breaking, but like it didn't work with the end cutscene, which pissed me off a lot because I was like, oh, cool.
Well, it is sort of story.
He let them both live. He's crazy. But
no repercussions.
Spoiler alert, they were just dead guys and your character's gone mental. So, but they...
What? Hey, whoa, thank you. I was going to play this game in the next 4 years.
Fuck off. I'm not going to play shit.
So, Luke, is that everything you played before I just like...
Yeah, I believe so.
Luke and I jumped in and played, would quickly cover, GTA Online.
Yeah, we started Heist.
Yeah, finally started Heist, so...
Let's talk about the introduction to us playing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mainly cover. Yeah. So I didn't do any research into what you had to do to play Heists, like to get to the point where you could start your own heist. Because I wasn't really that interested in doing someone else's. I really wanted to play with you guys. Reese had obviously done a little bit of reading. It's like, yep, you need to be level 12. I'm like, cool, no worries. I just did a few online missions just to get myself to that point. And then they're like, yeah, then Lester calls you. So I did jump online and had a look. I'm like, okay. They're like...
No, first off, it was like Lester calls you, and then you were getting no calls from Lester until I jumped...
That's what I meant. I was like, yeah. No, before that even, they were like, yeah, Lester calls you. I'm like, well, why is that not happening? Jumped online. Because I'm like, I went and done some Lester mission, which is just, once you get to level 12, he calls you and just says, hey, you can now put hits like hits out on your friends, which is cool.
Oh, really?
Whatever. Yeah, that's what automatically happens.
Is that what you were saying? I'm going to put $100,000 on you, Luke.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So
go ahead, I'll kill
that
myself.
happened. Then I was like, well, how do I what happens now? How's heist work? I'm like, stuff it. I'm just going to jump online because Rockstar don't tell you at all within the game for it to happen.
No.
But turns out you need to have a high rise or like a high level apartment. I had at one stage I'd had money, like I don't know, 1.2 million or something. I'd gotten 500,000 for pre-ordering, and then I'd gotten money from when they had that issue. I realised I got money from that, like when they had the stuff
That's
up
right.
there.
My first character had tons of money, and I spent it all on shit.
Yeah, so I did a similar thing. Bought like a cool old car, and then I bought I'm like, I don't want a cool apartment when I had the money to do it, and just bought like a crummy apartment.
The Derrosville place where Trevor lives.
Yeah, it was just in town, but it just had a big garage. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, I don't need to be. I'm like, everyone's just going to buy the big apartment. I'll just be a dickhead and buy the shit place. Turned out specifically you had to have a high level one, and I'd run out of money. So, and then Luke and I were there. We're like, damn it, I'm level 12. I really just want to play. I'm like, I don't want to grind and get enough money. Like the minimum apartment you could buy was 200,000, which probably wouldn't take that long. What most missions you probably get about 8,000 or something.
They still would take a fair while.
That's a few hours of gameplay.
Yeah, and I was like, just want to play now. So Doug's explored microtransactions within GTA and grabbed myself a $500,000 credit card, which is pretty cool. I just like pulled up the menu, went purchases. Oh no. I went to the online store, I went online in the game.
So on your phone?
I went to the phone on the game and went, apartment, being 500, you don't have enough money, do you want to get some money? Sure. PlayStation Store, link straight in. It did the 3 shark cards.
Yeah.
$500,000, like $11, 25 or something AU. So grab that, bang.
How much?
$11.
Okay, well, I thought you said
25 AU, what do you mean?
No,
$11.25.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did say 25.
I thought it was $11, but in Australian it was 25. I'm like, what is this?
No, it's like an obscure. I'm pretty sure it was an obscure amount.
Yep.
That just went straight off PayPal now, which is easy. Little email, bing. A few seconds later, I was back in game. Bang, money was there. It was actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Own the apartment.
I would have laughed if someone had just killed you then and stolen all
it
your
goes
money.
it goes into your bank.
Even so.
Very smart.
Or even he then buys the apartment just below the one that he needs.
No, I was thinking all these things. Also, could have bought a $200,000 apartment. Still, I was like, stuff it, and just bought the $500,000.
You spent all your money.
Yeah. I was like, I don't care. I'm like, it's done.
Spent $11 on a digital world. That's more than what I ever spent on Habbo Hotel.
What the amounts were.
And you spent money on Habbo Hotel?
I didn't. No. So it's more. So it's more than nothing.
The amounts I thought weren't enough. Like, if I had went the smaller one, I was like, stuff it, rather than doing it was like 50, 100, whatever the increments were. It was just like, it made more sense just to go the 500.
Well, don't forget that whatever money that you get now, you can buy vehicles and stuff to use in heists. A friend at work playing heists and stuff, he bought the armoured van, and he's used that in every single heist that he's played, and it's helped out so much because everyone can hop in this armoured van, can't get shot in and stuff.
Yeah, but that takes away the impact and the fun of it. Like, imagine doing that in a shitty RV or something. You're like, fuck yeah, man, we survived.
And then dying and going all the way back to the start and doing it again.
That's the whole experience you got to do it instead of just using some super, imagine doing it in a tank. There would be no fear of, we got to do it. Like,
it'd be really cool
we didn't die. Like, quick, get in the van.
I can understand your side.
A to B, nothing.
It would be
just drive
fun both ways. Like, the tension when you're getting away in something that's pretty funny.
Especially when we were playing multiplayer one time trying to drive away from that one guy that was chasing us.
Yeah.
And we ended up crashing. We're like, oh shit. He ended up driving around the corner. We both got out and just blasted him with our guns.
But yeah, so we bought it. Then Lester still wasn't calling. Had to invite Luke to my. So I was just not like a private server. Invited Luke on. Bang! Straight away he called through, and off we went. So we did like the initial
favoritism.
Yeah, you can do the heist setup mission, which is what I did, so that I can then host heists.
Right.
You could have done that on your own, or if you do it,
is that just putting the car somewhere and doing this?
Yeah, it's really easy. It's only 2 sections, and it just walks you through how the heist work as the person that runs the heist.
So you have the shitty thing about heist though. Doug's like, "Hey, come do my heist," and it has like the percentages of like take that you get after you've done it. It has like Doug 61%.
Jerk! I'd say that. No, I didn't. But that's automatic on the first one. You can set it after that.
Okay.
So if you're
Doug, 99.
No, so the default one. No, I think there's a standard one, which is probably what it is.
Yeah.
Like similar to that, where I would be getting more. Or you can be nice and you can split it evenly. So you can, but you actually have to chip in the money to start. So as you get through the heist, they become more expensive to start.
Okay.
So it could be like $150,000 just to run a heist.
See, I remember doing a little bit of a heist with you.
Yeah. Did we actually? And we got.
Okay. I think we got. Actually, maybe I did myself because we couldn't actually do it together. We were talking, but we were in different ones. There was a section where you're in a jail, where you got to walk through a jail and pretend and keep like inconspicuous and whatnot. You got your handcuffs behind your back, and again, one of those moments where I got anxious and I just wanted to press a button.
Oh no!
So I clicked jump, and you jump and you just your hands come apart like you don't have handcuffs on, and the guy's like, "Hey." Yeah, like you just said something, and they all started shooting, ruined the game. So because I jumped and got
you
anxious.
ruined that for everyone else that was in it with you.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
bad times.
But it's going to be a listener now that's going to be like, that happened to me.
Don't jump in jail.
Like Reese and I had played a little bit of online the other week. Did we play that before? When was that? 2 weeks ago.
That was when I jumped online and was like, hey, Reese is online playing GTA. And then I look, hey, Doug's also online playing GTA. And then
you get online, wankers.
But like Reese had pointed out how intense like the mission music is. And it's just as good. Like the very first heist, the setup heist, just teaching you about it. Even that was pretty fun. And it was piss easy. So I'm super keen. Like, I'd been like, everyone had been talking about heists coming, and I was like, eh. But after playing that, and
playing it with a friend,
yeah,
is fun.
But I've had so mixed experience. How frustrated! Like, I had to jump online to play the other night. PlayStation update has happened. That took ages. Actually, no, GTA. One of the updates happened first, and then you go into the next thing. Hey, you have an update for that too. Thanks. Do them together. Stop mucking around, PlayStation. So I had probably like 20 minutes of updates, half an hour of updates. Then you get in, it's difficult to get each other on the same server, even though you're in a party chat. When you're on a party chat, it should be working together and just default smashing you into the same server all the time. Like, I get sick of getting booted or you exit a thing, and there's definitely elements of GTA which, even from PS3, like,
I think
I spent a lot of time in menus.
It'd be interesting to see if that same frustration happens on the Xbox One, because Microsoft pushed their like
the
servers. You know, our online is so much better and stuff. And I'm interested to know whether it has a difference. If a listener out there knows that like playing Xbox One Grand Theft Auto works a lot better,
but I think just having 3 or 4 of us online for GTA, have us in a party, just get into a heist, I think that would be fine. Like if I just start a heist, we're going to have an hour or whatever of gameplay where we're just on our own server as well. Like that creates our own little private one. And I don't think, as long as we don't have an internet issue, I think it'll be a lot more uninterrupted play.
Yeah.
Which would be better. Like that's my biggest frustration is I end up staring at that satellite faded out image a lot.
Yeah.
Or you finish a mission that obviously it's all ran by one person, even if it's not a heist but just a mission. And if you're just playing with randoms online, well, they might just exit, and then all of a sudden you're booted. It doesn't tell you what's going on, and it just says loading, and then obviously it's trying to find you a server to go to.
Yeah.
And that's just frustrating as well. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of time
I think
you don't know
private
what's
servers are definitely a good idea.
Yeah. But anyway, but that's been fun. I'm super excited to play a bit more of that as well.
Yeah, we should definitely. Well, you've done the demo start of Heist. Doug's
think
done
so.
it.
Have I think I've done it.
I'm level 9 now, so Doug can just start a heist for us. The next one, and we can start playing.
That's why I was like punched out.
Cool.
Have we got time to do your question?
We do.
Time?
Okay, let's do this. This is our new segment. Okay, look.
And then before you jump in that, then we'll have a giveaway question soon after this.
That's right.
Just a quick one.
Do you guys have the question?
Yep.
Okay, good.
I don't. I don't know.
No, it's just one thing.
Yeah.
It's just one. It's what I said before the podcast.
All right, so I'm trying out different ways to do this segment stuff. So last week I had a question of like game console code names before they actually came out. I'm continuing that theme of doing code names again.
Made it a little easier.
But I've made it a bit easier. I'm going to read out 4 different consoles and 4 different code names. You guys have to give me your guess as to which one corresponds
I thought
with
you were
what.
going to go one extra, so we had to like get. I thought you were going to have like a fake one, but you just went 4 and 4.
Well, I said that, and you were like, "Nah, don't do the fake one."
Oh, that's what I thought you were doing. No, that's cool. Let's go.
All right, so okay, 4 different consoles. I'll do a fake console, the Quasimodo. Anyway, 4 consoles.
That's the fake one.
4 fake names. Okay, 4 real names, no fake names.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
I want to give a prelude to this, even though that just took so long for him to explain. He was sitting there, Doug, what's the thing before a thing has a name? And I'm like, you were crazy. I didn't have any idea. He gave me no context to what he was talking about. I'm like, what? Lucas, can you re-explain? I was really so confused.
Pre-birth.
And I was like, what are you saying? Like, I thought, I'm like, are you trying to think of a thing? Like, he didn't say, oh, yeah, that thing from last week on the podcast. And then I was like, what,
Hopeless-
like,
hopeless
code
effort.
name? Yeah, that's it. I'm like, but he was Googling, like, on his own for about 3 minutes.
What's something called before something?
I did that.
Really?
It was I can't really. It had a different
Did someone say
name.
something else?
It was pre-list name or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, okay, all right. Here's the 4 consoles:
Shoot him out.
the Atari 2600, the Sega Mega Drive, the GameCube, and the Wii U.
Yep.
Okay, got those 4 in your head.
Yep.
All right, here are the 4 code names: the N2000, the Stella, the Mark V, and Project Cafe.
4 is too many. I can't remember.
You
that.
said I was going to do 3, and you said I'll do 4.
I wanted 4 answers for 3 consoles.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
makes
that way there was a fake, non-applicable answer.
Well, that would have been smart.
All right, so we got the Atari, we got the Sega, Wii U,
GameCube.
and GameCube.
Yeah.
So what are these names again?
Yeah,
The N2000,
The N2000.
yeah.
Stella, Mark V,
Yep.
Project Cafe.
What? Project Cafe.
Project Cafe. Yep.
All right, Project Cafe, I would say would be the.
Hang on, we should start. I'll start with the Atari 2600.
I reckon that's a Project Cafe.
Okay, done.
Jeez.
Don't just go with me.
Yeah, I just want to now.
Actually, talk through it. Talk through why.
There's no reasoning. I have no reasoning for any of this.
Yeah, I think
The
they
Mark V,
they
I
want to
have
try
for
and
Wii
make
U.
a video game console modern, and they tried to probably do that a bit too early in their times.
Which one? The
Atari.
The
So they
Atari.
would be like, let's make this is for people, and people could play this anywhere, even though you need your big fuck off CRT TV. But we want to make it so people think it's normal to play video games. When back then it kind of wasn't.
Okay, so you feel Project Cafe.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, we should go through. You do your 4 you think, and then we'll do your 4.
I think that is going to take forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just do it as a group thing. The
All right,
way
fine.
that you've structured this, not as a competition, because it's going to be too difficult.
Okay. Fine.
So let's
All right.
we'll go through together.
The Sega Mega Drive. Which one do you think that is?
So what do we got
So,
left?
okay, so
So we go with Project Cafe with the
Yeah,
Atari.
that's
Yep.
fine. So give us our other 3.
There's N2000.
Have you popped off, Doug?
Yeah, I did a smelt.
You did a smell. Doug's farted. Oh,
There's the
Good,
N.
isn't it?
fucking horrible.
I'm sitting back a little bit.
Oh,
okay.
I keep breathing it. You know, undo my button.
It's left me.
All right, keep going.
There's the N2000,
Yep.
Stella,
Stella.
and the Mark V.
I'm
Now-
putting Mark V to the Wii U.
Okay, well,
Can I
we're
see-
talking about the
I'm-
Sega
no,
Mega Drive
I'm
right
just
now.
flicking. How many Nintendos has there been? It's gone, I think, Rex. It's gone from him.
So the Mark V, I believe, would be.
We're talking about the Sega Mega Drive.
We-
Oh, we're
just
talking about
skip.
Sega Mega Drive.
Which one do you think Sega Mega Drive is?
The N1.
The N2000?
Yep.
Okay. Which one do you think the GameCube is?
But what's the only other thing that's not
What
Mark?
are the
There's
other two?
Stella and there's Mark V.
Stella.
Mark V.
Oh, we got mixed.
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
mixed. So then we'll flip it over the opposite way. You guys think that the Wii U is. You think it's the Stella,
Stella.
and you think it's Mark V.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to read them out. So first off, you guys thought that the Atari.
Yeah, because that's... Hold on. I'm just going to count it out. Is that correct? Just the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo,
the 64, the GameCube.
GameCube, Wii. Damn it. I don't know. I'm sticking with it anyway.
All right, okay. So you guys thought that the Atari 2600 was the Project Cafe.
Yep.
Project Cafe was in fact the Wii U.
Oh, what?
Really?
Yep.
That's odd.
Well, we've got two wrong now.
What you didn't do, though, Luke, that would have made this more interesting
Far out.
is
All right, Joe.
background.
Background
If there
noise.
was any reasoning for these. So you've asked us to sound it out, and then you haven't given us what the sound reasoning is.
Horrible, Lucas. Horrible
Is
job.
that you've asked him, oh, well, what's your reasoning behind that? And then he can't just say, well, actually, guys, the reason this is the Project Cafe...
I would have done that if I had my laptop in front of me.
Yeah.
You didn't bring it.
All right, anyway, so the Wii U is the Project Cafe.
Okay.
All right? The Atari 2600 was, in fact, stellar.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Have a fun time playing with Stella's joystick.
Okay, you guys thought the Sega Mega Drive was the N2000. And the Sega Mega Drive was, in fact, the Mark V.
Are we wrong with everything?
You got everyone wrong. Sega
And
Mega
you
Drive...
can't even elaborate.
I'll elaborate next week, Doug,
Okay.
just for you.
And the GameCube was called what?
And the GameCube was called the N2000. There was also called the Dolphin, but this was the other code
Did the
name,
GameCube come out in 2000? No, you wouldn't fucking know, would you? Useless. Useless person. All right, Doug, you got the giveaway.
Okay, giveaway,
quick
Doug.
giveaway. So the guys, now I've forgotten what they're called. Samurai Ninja Sword. What are they called over there?
Samurai Punk.
Yeah.
Samurai Gun? No, Samurai...
Yeah, you're...
I don't
Don't
know.
work
You
it
talk
out.
for a second.
Lucas. He's on his phone. He's doing his
I was
research.
randomly...
Yeah, it
I
is
was-
Samurai Punk. Good
Yeah.
one. So the guys over at Samurai Punk have been nice enough to flick us a game key for Screen Cheat, which is a cool game, which you
game
can
key. Flicked it straight to you.
flick to us. Now you just
Man,
moved the
you're
camera.
lucky that didn't bump because you were talking about the camera the whole pre-podcast.
Now, Screen Cheat, really cool game that we did a really short Let's Play on a few weeks ago. Quite a few weeks ago now. But you can find it on our YouTube
Channel.
in our channel or on our
On
channel.
our channel.
We'll probably.
At our
I was
channel.
going to say in the description. You can find the details in the description
Below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basic premise of the game: first-person shooter, local co-op, up to 4 players, and everyone's invisible. It's the whole concept of from like GoldenEye days where you would cheat off the other person, except in this case, everyone's invisible, so you have to cheat.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the world levels are color-coded.
So you can actually kind of tell and have somewhat of an idea. Because imagine playing this type of game on the maze area of GoldenEye, where it was, in that I can't remember, just
The temple.
everything's grey. Not
Yeah,
the temple,
if it was a more
temple,
generic level, it'd be insane.
Yeah, it'd be horrible. But
So, really cool local Australian-based game studio. My simple question was going to be just in relation to, but now I haven't really thought through the question that
you
much.
said you had a,
No, was going
both
to
are
be
useless.
No, I do have an answer, but
He's
no
got the
question.
answer for the question.
No, just the
He's going to
game-
win it himself, Reece.
Yes.
I already own it, so I'll have 2 copies. Yes, was going to be, or is the question is simply, which game did you play that you screen cheated on? Like, it's pretty simple. And I guess, yeah.
Or should we,
What, can they be wrong?
Should we shorten the question down?
If someone says GoldenEye, can you be like, nah, you didn't?
Which game did you screen cheat?
Yeah,
And what was funny about it?
yeah, exactly.
Did you-
That's more.
That's better.
Did someone punch
Who
you?
did you play with? Yeah, who did you play with? Like, was it with you? Generally, I'd feel like it's a sibling thing. Did you guys play anything?
Yeah,
all
Like
the
Gold,
time.
it was Gold.
All the time, GoldenEye. I always
Bit of
won.
Perfect Dark.
I didn't play much Perfect Dark.
We had it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember playing it much.
Other thing that came into my
Mario Kart.
head during this week was the way that you guys played. What was your horror game that you played together?
PT.
PT.
Yeah. Did you actually play any game where you played a single player game together? Did you do that at all? As
No,
kid?
no. We didn't do it together. Luke just fucking played them all and I had to watch.
What?
Yep. Pokemon Blue.
Not
We had the
not-
whole family
no,
watching
no,
that on a Game Boy.
Not PT. What was the one that you've already done the series?
Outlast.
Outlast.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you played that shared keyboard mouse.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you play anything like that as a kid?
As in sharing keyboard
Did
and
you
mouse?
play a single player game co-op?
Jump and bump.
That's not co-op.
No,
It was
no.
to fucking kill each other.
No, there was no...
We never smart enough for that concept.
No.
I thought it would not so much be because you're smart, but because you weren't smart or old enough.
Yeah, true. I don't know. What?
Like that you might-
I played a lot of games which Reece sat there and watched me play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So you shared experiences.
Yeah.
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 Did we... Suikoden was not one.
Not all of it.
Not
no,
all of it.
but it gave me enough excitement to play the first one.
Yeah.
Finish it. And now I've actually bought the second one and played all the way up till I can fucking save. So it's a long time, and that's what I've been getting to every time I've tried to play it on an emulator, and my emulators kept
I've played through that game twice, and it's a fairly large game. And the second time I played through, I did it specifically with the walkthrough to get all 108 people.
Wow.
And I missed one.
That's insane.
And you can miss them. Like, it's
In
a game
certain
where you
spots,
can't go back and do things.
So just tweet at us,
Yeah.
Trusty Crowbar AU. Just, what was your good past experience of 4-player co-op? Which obviously there's more recent.
That wasn't the question.
No, Jesus, Doug. What game did you screen cheat in, and what was the funny thing that happened?
I'd change.
You're so shit. That is enough for our podcast. We've run
too late,
too long, too late,
Yeah, we
too
are
sleepy.
This was 107.
In written words and letters, not numbers. So thank you all for listening. I'm Reese Whittingslow.
I'm Douglas Bright.
Oh, so this has made the feng shui bad.
I'm Lucas Whittingslow.
Ba-bum. And we are the Trusty Crowbar.
Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Peace.
Watching.
Why do we always say good night? Because it's night here.
Yeah, it's night time.
Yeah.
Sleep well.
Princess.